Hey everyone, this is Warren from the Rhapsody Piano Studio. Welcome to today's live lesson. This is going to be Don't Know Why by Norah Jones for easy piano. I'm going to show you how to learn this song and also any other piece or any other song. It's the same process that I use for to teach my students to learn anything on piano. Okay, now before I start, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to catch whenever I go live. Also, just keep with me on my daily piano videos coming out every single day. Okay, so this is Don't Know Why by Norah Jones. Hi Morgan, how are you doing today? Hey. First step of the process is going to pick the smallest part possible that's easy for you to practice. And I picked about 4 measures. Now, it might be different for any other song that you play. It's not always the same because you have to think about the difficulty of the music you're playing and also the structure of it. So it could be 4 measures, it could be 6, it could be 5. You really just have to listen carefully, okay? Second step, we just go back with that section and we do one part at a time. So here's just the right hand. You know, so I also like going a little bit into the next measure. That way you kind of create this automatic connection. You can skip a step because if you don't do this, if you just stop where the section ends, you have to take time to connect it together. That could be a potential time waster. Practicing piano. Okay, that's good, Morgan. Always a good idea to be practicing. That's always the best excuse. Can't watch because I'm practicing. All right, so we're just gonna try that together. Ready, go. Right, now on to the left hand. And we just try it together. Ready, go. Then once you have each hand pretty much figured out, it's good. The reason why you want to do hand separate because most of the time, one hand is going to have the harder part. Okay, and also here maybe it's not too hard to practice because we only have single notes in the left hand. So sometimes you might not even need to do hand separate. You could just do the right hand and then hands together if you feel like you can. If the left hand, just one note at a time, you feel like that's not too much of a challenge for you. So there's some subtleties to this approach and you can always adjust it, so it's not always set in stone is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, all right, now we just go back to both hands. We just try it together. Ready, go. Now, before we keep going, just explain a few things. I primarily teach with sheet music, so if you don't know how to read sheet music, I didn't really have much advice for you. But if you just primarily play by ear, I'm not going to tell you to read, like you need to read. I mean, you can, all right? I have resources in the description as well as the comments section. I'll pin a comment, just like a whole entire playlist of how to, it's like for beginners, right? Because you know reading is a fundamental beginning skill, so it doesn't matter what level you're at. You could be intermediate, maybe you just never got around to reading sheet music. It's a really simple process to get started. Now I will say, of course, it's going to take a while, so you have to be patient. But if you feel like I don't know how to read, it's going to be impossible, if you just get started now, I'll tell you, like within a month or two you can get pretty fluent in reading the sheet music and the notes. Okay, now if you're just playing by ear, it's totally possible as well. And maybe at this level you need a little bit more instructions. That in that case, I would say drop down and do a lot easier, simpler music. Get used to playing that by ear and just by watching, right? And you come back to this lesson if you really want to learn this song, and you'll find it'll be a lot easier. And of course, you could just stay at this level and you just keep trying to play everything by sight and by ear, right? Like it's not necessary for me to tell you what note this is, what note this is, what note this is, right? So it's like I don't need to tell you this C, E, F, and if you're learning this way, it's to me it's such a time consuming way to practice. It's like people are like doing the work for you. So in my opinion, it's just get started on it and you just learn by doing, okay? And it's totally possible. We have some students here and there, they just no matter how many times I try to tell them to read the sheet music, they're like I'm just learning everything by ear. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not going to dumb it down for you, and they can totally use these videos and they're able to play everything just by watching and listening, and it's possible for you as well, right? But in my opinion, get started on reading will be a lot easier, and sheet music links will be in the cards as well as the description, okay? All right, now we're gonna keep going. Here's the next part. Okay, and it's about 4 measures at a time. I kind of like this division so far. So once you're done with one part, you just pick the next part, say 4 measures or so. This is about 4 measures, and then you just repeat the process. Hello, Vale, how's it going? I hope I said that right. Now, in the right hand, I actually recommend, if you're going to practice the right hand, play that first note in the left hand. Otherwise, you have to count that rest. That could be kind of awkward, okay? So here's how we're going to do just the right hand with the first note in the left hand. Okay, let me just try that together. Ready, go. Okay, then repeat the same thing with the left hand. Do it together. Ready, go. Then back to both hands. Try it together. Ready, go. And I do realize I'm moving pretty fast through this lesson. So if it's a little fast, if you're watching this after the live stream is over, I do recommend hitting that playback speed button. You can slow it down. Or another good idea, most people were not going to want to do this because they feel like it's tedious and time consuming. But if you write out your plan, you can get so much done. Like say today, I'm just going to do first 4 sections, hand separate, first 4 sections. And then you can come back and watch this video. And then you can follow along. You can pause in between and then repeat it and practice it as many times as is necessary before moving on. So, you know, these are live lessons that tend to be a bit fast paced, and I'm just going to keep it going, okay? But again, if it's going too fast for you, you really want to learn this song, you're watching it live, come back and watch it after it's done and recorded, okay? All right, we're going to keep going. Here's the next section. Here, and I'm telling you the big reason why you want to do small sections at a time. We're talking about how they can be different numbers of measures. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 measure section instead of 4, right? So she kind of flips it up a little bit, adds 2 more measures to that end, okay? So this is why you need to practice hand separate at a time. Every single one is not the same, okay? Hi, Latara, how's it going? All right, now here's just the right hand, same process. Try that together. I left you by the house of fun. Ready, go. pattern here. And we do that together. Ready, go. And back to both hands. Okay, we try that together. Ready, go. By the way, how you guys liking the new camera? I finally upgraded, and I tend not to care about technology and all that, but man, it's a pretty big difference. I kind of wish I upgraded sooner, so I hope you guys appreciate that. All right, now I'll show you the final step of this process. We have one part, okay, another part. Sometimes you can connect it together as soon as possible, but you see we had the intro, then we had about 2 parts of this verse, right? So, one verse, second verse with the little 2 measures. Remember that? 4 plus 6 measures. Hope you guys are getting good at math. So now we have about 3 sections. And whenever possible, when you're practicing, now you just want to put it together into bigger sections, okay? That's pretty much the last step of this process. And guess what? We just repeat it. Hands separate if necessary, then hands together, okay? So, and then, when I'm teaching students this, I always, if they're new to this process, always demonstrating for them first so they can hear the sections, okay? So this is why I'm playing each section first for you guys so you can hear it. Kind of speeds up the process too, okay? Okay, and I left you by the house of fun. That part, I kind of goofed up on the notes, so just disregard that. All right, now I'm just gonna go back and do the right hand. Okay, listen first and then play with me after. Okay, ready, go. Now the left hand. Just left and now, all the way from the beginning. Ready, go. Back to both hands. Ready, go. And there you have it. That is basically all you need to know to learn any song or any piece. And from there, it's just kind of adding more knowledge and tools to your toolkit. Think about it this way. But these are the basic fundamentals of practice. You can apply this to any level, any genre of music, just whatever you want to play. Okay, it doesn't really matter. All right. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Now, once you really understand this process, you'll be able to use any of my tutorials, okay? And I also include the tutorial link for this one and every single live lesson. So basically, if we broke it down in how I teach this in real life, all the lessons that I have with my students, of course, everything's online these days because of the you know what. So every lesson, I'm just showing them how to practice. And once they get the basic fundamentals down, they're able to just practice using my own tutorials, right? And because once a week lesson is kind of not enough, so I created these tutorials to kind of fill in the spots for them and figured out, wow, it actually works for the audience as well. So really, once you are understanding these ideas, and it's going to take a while, you might need to learn a few lessons and whatnot. Just really test out your own knowledge. Just click on over to tutorial. Like, it's totally possible, okay? Just really take my word for it. I promise you, you can be able to learn it, okay? Hey, Taco, what's going on? Charles, thank you. We always appreciate your comments, okay? Yeah, so you definitely don't want to practice the whole song. Showed you part by part, okay? Because if you practice the whole song, it's gonna take forever. You probably make tons of mistakes, and you'll be kind of spinning your wheels, not really getting anywhere, okay? So for the rest of this lesson, I'm just gonna show you the next sections to practice, and it's just a matter of figuring out the form of it, right? So like, how many sections is this part? How many measures? And then also like, okay, what parts I need to practice. If you do that, you could save maybe even like cutting off like 30 to 50% of the time that you usually practice, okay? All right, last thing I want to say is really plan out your practices. So if you're not going to be doing the whole song with us, it took me about, almost 20 minutes to get through one section. It might take you a little bit longer in the beginning. So you're going to have to pick and choose what sections you're going to practice for a certain day. Unless you have the whole entire day to practice, the whole entire song, that's really kind of, it's, what do I want to say? It's really hard to concentrate for that period of time. So you're just going to have to do small parts at a time, okay? All right, sorry, man, I don't understand whatever language it is you are saying, but I wish I did. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Next section, next verse, if you want to think of it that way. When I saw the break of day. Getting into the chorus there, hard, man, I love this song. So you notice here, I gave you 8, by 8 measures, okay? And when you're getting good at this process, you do small parts at a time to really test out to see if you're, besides using the tutorials, is you can really do longer sections. And then if you can do longer sections, it means you're getting better at this song, possibly at this level. Then you can even think about doing harder music. Okay, so now we're gonna do longer sections. Here are the 8 measures from When I Saw to the that lovely chorus. Okay, we're just gonna try the right hand, same thing. Okay, playing with the first note here because there's a rest. Try that together. Ready, go. And left hand. Okay, one other tip I want to give you guys, if you're trying this song and it's really difficult for you, then I highly recommend, you can continue to practice this, but you could also do some music that is at an easier level. You're not practicing the easier music per se, but you're trying to get used to this, way of practicing. So that's also a really good idea. Okay, left hand, ready, go. Back to both hands. When I Saw the Break of Day. Ready, go. Alright, now what you could do, I'm not going to do it here, otherwise the lesson will be like forever. You actually go back all the way to the beginning and put together what we have so far, okay? But for the sake of today's lesson, we are going to continue. So heart is drenched. You can even take it from the pickup if you want. I'm just going to start from heart, okay? Okay, we try that together, just the right hand. Let me play the right hand for you first. And then, sometimes, even if the notes aren't difficult, here is a good section to practice just the right hand because you can really, practice your rhythm here. Because the left hand is totally absent here. You just have to keep counting in the right hand. So sometimes it's a good way to practice your rhythm. Okay, here's the right hand. Ready, go. Okay, you know what's coming next, left hand? Okay, now before I continue on with the rest of the song, it's gonna get highly repetitive. Maybe not actually. I need to play it first, right? It's also, there's another reason why you want to do small parts at a time, because if it's highly repetitive, you can just skip that section. In fact, that's why I tell my students to do all the time. Just skip. No need to practice it, since if you play the whole song, you're gonna end up playing it anyway. But yeah, I just want to ask you guys. I see many of you have already hit that like button. You guys are awesome people. Thank you so much. If you haven't hit that like button yet, if you like this video so far and it's valuable for you, you're learning something from this, please hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot to really see that you guys are understanding and resonating with this music. And after this lesson is over, please share this video with people who would love to learn it on piano. Okay, let's keep going. Out across the endless sea. Just seems like the main melody's coming back here. So it's pretty much a small part of the melody came back instead of like 8 measures or 16. It's a little part, and then going right back to that chorus. That's the word. Okay. Left hand here, you can totally skip because the accompaniment pattern, so we call it here, it's exactly the same. So here you just need to practice the right hand. There's subtle differences here. I think it's worth playing. And then back to both hands together. So remember what I was talking about. You don't always need to do right hand, left hand. Don't practice like a robot. These are, you have to practice until it gets automatic, but don't practice on autopilot. Okay, so here, right hand, and then hands together. Left hand, not necessary. Here's the right hand, out across. Out across, ready, go. Back to both hands. Ready, go. Keep it going. I have a feeling this is going to be just the exact same section. Chorus. It's pretty much the same. I think the only parts where I'm hearing that's different is you'll be on my mind forever. Slight differences in notes. Okay, so really just focus on that if you need to, and then back to both hands. And we're going to continue on with this lesson. Something to make you run. So, yeah, it's the melody comes back. It sounds like it's gonna be the first verse, but we actually go to the coda, which you can think about as coda is another word for ending. Okay, so where would I practice? I'd actually practice the last 3 measures here. So in fact, this section is not you don't have to practice it in detail. Okay, so we're just gonna practice the last 3 measures. I came to this lesson a lot faster than I thought. Yeah, and after the lesson is over, if you want to stick around, I'll give you guys a quick recap because it's good to review fundamentals. Otherwise, you will never remember it. But if you need to get going, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe button on the way out. Okay, didn't come. Just the right hand. Ready, go. Left hand. Ready, go. Both hands. Ready, go. And that is it for today's lesson. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll give you guys a quick recap and then we're out of here. So this was Don't Know Why. Obviously it's in the title. Norah Jones. Easy piano. So how to practice. You want to pick the smallest part possible that you can manage. For this song, it was about 4 measures, sometimes a little bit longer. Each song could be a little bit different. Maybe it might be the same, so you kind of have to use your judgment, okay? So for small part, then you practice hands separate if necessary. Not always necessary. You do right hand, and then maybe left hand is too easy. You don't need to do it. And then both hands. Or it could be left hand. You don't need to practice right hand. And together. But let's just keep it simple. Hands separate is what I like to call it. And then hands together. You pick the next section. Hands separate, hands together. And then you figure out where's the biggest, first big section, okay? Sometimes it's 2 parts. Sometimes there's 3 parts. Sometimes there are more, okay? So here it was about 3 parts. Then you just pretty much build it into a longer section. And that's it, okay? That's really the only thing you need to know on the basics on how to fundamentally practice. And then I really highly suggest getting a copy of the sheet music because I teach with sheet music. If you don't know how to read, I have some videos that will help you out. Just go to the description as well as the comment section. I'll link up some playlists. Reading sheet music, you know, I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's not, okay? Just learning in any language is kind of difficult, but it's not easy to, it's let's say it's simple to learn it. It's not easy to get good. You have to be patient, okay? Some people just want that instant fix and be able to read sheet music like that. Like some students I know pick up on it really fast. Some have taken a long time. So just be patient, and however long you take is however long you take, all right? It's like you can totally learn to read with the sheet music. Honestly, I do not play by ear. I don't teach by ear. Sometimes I do in the lessons, just if the student has forgotten their music that they saw. It's possible. You can just keep watching this video until you get good at playing by ear, and then a lot of my other lessons. So that's fine as well, okay? But you know, just if you're thinking I can't read sheet music, it's totally possible. Anyone can. Every single one of my students who ever study with me, they all learn to read, and it's at times it could be a little bit painful, but it's relatively a painless process. So hope that helped you guys out. And remember, when you're done with this lesson, it's like the step-by-step instructions. Then the tutorial itself becomes the study guide. And when you become an expert at practicing like this, believe it or not, you can use any of my tutorials on the channel. There's like 2,000 or more. So any of those videos you can just totally learn on your own. It's totally free on YouTube. Incredible resource. I hope you really use it to your advantage, okay? All right, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm gonna go cool off now. So hot in here. See you guys next time. Have a good day and happy practicing.